will be planted here, Marshal.
This group is called the Palestine Rangers Company A of Palestine, Texas. And we raise funds and things for people that's not able to help themselves, like for Christmas or Thanksgiving, or maybe some kids that don't have no toys. Our goal in life is to show someone out there in this world that there is somebody that really cares about those people, and we want to see them be, taken care of. We teach gun safety. We tell people about gun safety. We go from the gun that we have by someone getting shot with it by accidentally. Then we go to a shell casing that's, that could be loaded. It could have two objects going two different directions. Someone should pick it up and drop it and set it off. And we do even talk about a gun that's been found. And I tell the kids and grown-ups, if you see a gun somewhere laying, next to a curb or maybe into the woods or someplace next to a hedge, leave it. Just call 911, have an officer come out and pick that gun up, because that gun could have been involved in a murder or a robbery, or it could be stolen.
My name is Ronnie Blackstock. My character name is Old Blackstock. I had some reenactors that tell me that said the Blackstock name sounded pretty much like an old cowboy name anyway. My grandfather was born in 1836. This is my grandfather, and he died in 1927. So he lived through all the cowboy days, and he was a Civil War veteran. He fought with the Confederacy, and I like to think that I might be honoring him too. This is a Walker 44. It's got a attachable rifle stock on it that I can take off with just one screw. But this gun was introduced, it's a black powder gun, percussion, and it was introduced during the Civil War. And I think the cavalrymen used it mostly, and I think that they made holsters for them and carried them on the front of their saddles rather than carry them on their hip because they were so heavy.
Yes, my name is Kathy Watkins. I play Big Kate, the Southern Saloon Girl, with Palestine Rangers Company A. I enjoy working with other people doing reenactment. My whole family does it. I also taught drama for several years, and it's just so much fun not only to teach it, to be on the acting side of it. And once you've met Big Kate, the Southern Saloon Girl, you'll never forget her. So y'all come on down and see Big Kate at the Texas State Railroad or Old Town Palestine.
Marshal, Sam Bass has been spotted in Gun Barrel City. We need to go get him.
Well, let's go get him then. I got into reenacting by being in there was a Western movie made in Palestine. It was called American Outlaws. And of course, it was a Jesse James movie, and Colin Farrell was really the main star in it. But a lot of the guys that was Pinkertons, and that's what I was from Canton, and they was reenactors. So after the movie finished, they invited us to come to Canton, and we went to Canton, and they put us in a skit, and it kind of rolled from there. Basically, I reenact because when we was young, we get to play cowboys and shoot them up. I've always been a fan of Western to start with. And so, like my wife said, she figures I was born 100 years too late.
I reenact because all of my life I've wanted to go back and live in the 1800s, in the cowboy era of our great United States. This is, to my knowledge, the only way a person ever gets that opportunity to do that. you know, when we dress up in our clothes, we commonly refer to it as coming out and playing, because we're actually going out and playing cowboys, and that's why I do it. I usually play Jack Coffee Hayes. He was a Texas Ranger back in the period of the Old West in Texas. He was a pretty famous Ranger. That was not particularly the reason that I picked him as my character. I just liked his nickname Coffee, so that's the name that I chose. I like to play my part because I like the part. If you read your history as far as the Texas Rangers, they're what settled Texas.
I'm Big Sal. My name is Sheila Blackstock, and I decided to be a cowboy because there were a lot of women in the West that really didn't have men to take care of them. So they had to be rough and tough, just as rough and tough as any man. And somewhere along the line, I wanted them to see that even though we're rough and tough, we're good guys also. My favorite part about reenacting is robbing the train. We reenact on the Texas State Railroad on the second and fourth Saturdays of each month. And when we rob the train, the kids just get the biggest kick out of being robbed by a real cowboy. And you can just see it in their face. They just love it. Even the grown-ups love it. And the money all goes to charity.
I go by the name Will Dearborn. It's a character from a Stephen King book called Gunslinger. I'd like to see the kids get entertained as well as learn something about the Old West history, as well as the safety stuff we do, and show them the characters and the dress and the outfits, and you know, everybody likes an Old West type setting.
Well, little girl doesn't want to be a Southern belle. You know, everybody's seen Gone with the Wind. They've seen Scarlett in her big dresses and see how she got to act a dress. And for me, that was always a dream. You see these different images portrayed, and where I grew up, that is part of our heritage. That's part of who we are and where we came from. And what more fun for a little girl than to get to grow up and put on these big dresses and do it all over again.
I use a Ruger 45 Vaquero. It's a single action. You do have to cock it to shoot it. You can open the gate and it just spins. You don't have to have it cocked to spin it. We load our own blanks, and that's a whole lot of fun to be able to do all that.
I play Emma Hayes, Southern Belle. She's very quiet most of the time, and sometimes might be caught gossiping about other people in the town, but most of the time being sweet.
My name's Aaron Coates. I portray Tom McLowry from the movie Tombstone. He was a famous outlaw that was killed there by Doc Holliday with a shotgun. It's like one I have in my hand. It's era of the time because of hammers, and it's a 12 gauge, and I also use a 45 long Colt pistol. My favorite part of reenacting is living history. You know, just being, acting with the group and get involved with the public and watching how, when we do our gunfights and skits and stuff, and being part of living history.